Hello. Welcome back for episode 2 of Enemy of My Enemy. I am so thrilled to be back for the second installment in this 5-part series that is a mashup of Hunter the Reckoning and Vampire the Masquerade, a cast of both hunters and vampires. I'm so excited. If you missed episode 1, it is up on the Demiplane RPG YouTube. And we're here to pick up with episode 2. Before we jump into the episode and get to know our cast, though, we do have a little bit of housekeeping, and I would like to throw it to the wonderful, lovely, and talented Drak for that.
Yes. Hi. So I just want to quickly say, as you can see, I don't know where I should point, but somewhere on the screen you can see that this actual play is presented by Demiplane. Thank you so much, Demiplane. We're going to be using their Nexus to play, look up the rules and play this game. But it's also sponsored by Hero Forge. The wonderful folks at Hero Forge are helping us produce and make this show. Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of species and thousands of parts to choose from. You can actually make, even if you wanted to, vampires and hunters in your Hero Forge. If you do, and you do make them, please post pictures online and hashtag enemy x enemy so we can see it. We would love to see what your kindred and hunters might look like in this world. But we're also, like I said, we're using VTM and HCR, which is Vampire the Masquerade and Hunter the Reckoning, on Demiplane Nexus to make it much more easy and fun to reference rules. And if you want to give that a try yourself, we're actually going to be giving away a bundle, a Vampire the Masquerade Ultimate Bundle and Hunter the Reckoning core book on Demiplane Nexus in chat. Every episode will be giving one of these away in chat. Just keep your eye in chat. The moderator will tell you exactly how to enter that competition, that raffle. But again, if you do win, post about it on Twitter. Let us know. Hashtag enemy of my ex enemy. But as I'm talking anyway, I'm going to introduce myself. Then we're going to go around the wheel to introduce everyone else who's playing here. So, like I mentioned before, I'm Drak or Draconics. You can find me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. I use he/they pronouns, and so does my character Enoch. He uses he/they pronouns, and they're a hunter, one of the hunters in this Vampire the Masquerade Hunter mashup. We'll see how long they survive. I'm going to throw it over to Matt, my fellow hunter.
Hello, beautiful, wonderful people. Hey, how's it all going? My name is Matt. I Captain Krail on all things. If you are on a social media and you're like, I wonder if Matt's on here, and you type in Captain Krail, if nothing comes up, then I'm not on there. I am primarily the GM of the Atomless, which is a little Starfinder operatic sci-fi adventure about a bunch of broken people flying through space on a broken spaceship, trying to fix the world in any way they can, or the galaxy in any way they can. You can find that on any form of podcast medium. It is my little baby. I love it so much. And we're just about to launch season 2. We had a little mini-series which Dillin ran, which takes place as like a prequel and then tells the story of the planet saga that people went on. It's a really good place to jump in. My pronouns are they, he. We love that they. And I am playing Auguste, who uses he, him pronouns because he's a little bitch and we hate him. And speaking,
violence against your own character.
Don't
damn,
you
start.
Do not.
And speaking of August, and what a dreadful little rat he is. I'm moving over to August's arch nemesis, Raven.
It's really funny because I thought you were going to stop on that bitch part, and I was like,
oh no, that would be mean.
Go,
we don't know each other
Matt.
nearly well enough for me to do that.
Not yet, later. Hi, everyone. I am Raven, also known as Wreck-It Raven everywhere on the internet. My pronouns are they, she, any. I am playing Madame Ime, who is a BDSM club owner in New York City and a fly vampire. Who happens to be the arch nemesis of, Auguste, I guess. Or maybe it's just that, she lives rent free in his mind, which is very normal. And her pronouns are she, her. and I am going to pass it to the lovely Hamnah.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Hamnah. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer and producer. You can find me all over the social medias at Lilith TTRPG, similar to Matt. If you look for that and you don't find it, I'm not there. Or if you find someone and it doesn't look like me, that person is also not me. I don't know. Today I will be playing Fanaa, who uses they, them pronouns. Fanaa is a salubri, and they're just trying to live. Like, can y'all just let them live? Like, is that okay? Like, just please. And with that, I am going to pass it over to Stella.
Hello, hello. I'm Stellaluna on Twitch, Stellaluna TV on all their social media. I'm a Twitch partner, TTRPG producer, and performer. You can find all my information over on my Twitter at Stellaluna TV. Today, I'll be playing Kim Raelyn, a very jaded ex-nurse nun, part of the La Sombra family, and we both use she, they pronouns. They primarily have to deal with people that are trying to hunt on this character, I think, in most recent years. But they essentially are a grumpy but loving individual that haunts Madame Ime's place. And I will pass it over to our illustrious game master, Dillin.
Hi, illustrious I am now. I love that word so much. So yummy. I'm Dillin or Super Dillin. Either of those are fine. And I use she, he, and they pronouns pretty please. I'm so stoked to be here. I am one of the aforementioned broken people on the Atom list. That's another place you can find me. Tonight, I am just jazzed to be in the world of darkness with all of these wonderful people. So I think it is time for us to get started with episode 2 of Enemy of My Enemy. Let's take it away.
Enemy of my enemy may include death, minor violence and or gore, exsanguination, blood, hunger, memory and or thought manipulation, classism, betrayal, romance, party conflict, heights, and real-life religion and political allegory. Everyone on this show has a set of safety tools to use if anything in our game becomes triggering for us, but we want you, the audience, to remain safe as well. If anything occurs that is triggering to you, please look after yourself and step away if you need to. And remember, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
The other side, the mortals call it, as if it's someplace far and unreachable. Whatever they individually believe is on this miraculous other side of this metaphysical and often nondescript doorway is unimportant. as long as it's over there, as long as it's reached only at the right time. It's said often as a comfort, sometimes as a superstition, but rarely do mortals use it the way that it should be used, as a caution. Because what doorway do you know that can only be stepped through in one direction? Stella, I want to start, I want to pick up a little bit where we left off with Kim. Outside on the street, after having scared the soul right out of one of your old marks, he obviously ran tail between his legs. As you head down the street, I just want to know, I want to ask one thing. Is there anything about the city at night that Kim appreciates? Smells, sights, sounds, anything that catches?
The thing about New York City is that it has a very distinct smell. It is a pungent perfume that takes some time getting used to, and it's grown on Kim. Between the different alleyways, there's always a permeating presence, a sort of scent that lingers, but it's usually unique and characteristic per block. And this is something that Kim has made into a ritual over their time here. And as we're following Kim here, they are holding multiple plastic bags now, each one laden with a different item, a different shape, visibly a can of some kind of drink, perhaps another bundle of food. And Kim doesn't seem to give much concern as she flicks away a spent cigarette and immediately begins to pull out another one, pausing only to light it with the click click of her plastic lighter, taking a drag and then continuing on. The lights are particularly pretty. They're almost like stars if you unfocus your eyes enough. And Kim is more or less just taking it all in, very faintly aware of the direction that the man had gone, making sure in the back of their mind that they continue in that direction.
There is a moment where you pause because he did run in a general direction away. And as you, with your quickened, pace as you walk down the city streets, you do see off in the distance at one corner he stops. The direction of the nightclub to a left turn and away, either forward or right. And you can see him pause, look to the left, almost as though he was going to turn down, and runs to the right instead at full speed.
A stiffness leaves my frame as I recognize that this person has made the right choice here today. And I will begin to make my way towards Madame Ime's club.
Madame Ime, how's it going tonight? How's business?
Booming as usual. I find that my patrons tonight tend to be a little bit hungrier for blood, maybe for gifts of the flesh. Of course. Seems like everybody's kind of having a hard time. And I am just taking in the sights, the sounds. I have kind of Shaking myself free of that trance, I look over to my right at the tall, dark gentleman that stands there, beckon him just for a moment as I pull him down and whisper in his ear to fetch me my dinner. And so he does, as he's told, and brings this very cute little petite framed masculine figure who I nod and I waste no time sinking my teeth into his flesh on his wrist. And there's this dance almost as my eyes peer into him. And he smiles, having been through this dance many times before. And there's something a little bit extra there. He enjoys this. He seeks Madame Ime out quite frequently. And who am I but somebody who enjoys dishing out what people enjoy?
You two enjoy this intimate act together. You feeding directly from someone's life force and allowing them to get weaker for your strength. And it's beautiful that you almost don't notice the show that's begun around you. The other mortal patrons, some of them look on in the kind of curiosity that people look at horror films and read disturbing stories on the internet. Others look on in intense jealousy. The other immortals in the room look on with hunger, and it is something that actually, when Kim walks in to the club, I would like for Kim to make a roll. I want Kim to make a wits and uh wits and investigation check. Wait, please.
Okay. Let's see. I think I did that right.
I believe in you.
It says messy critical.
Were there any ones?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So walking into the club, the vibe in here is tense in a way that it shouldn't be. The club, people dancing, having fun, letting go of inhibition. Why are they so tense in here? And you do eventually walk into like the main area where this scene is playing out. You see that the immortals in the club, the patrons, are looking too hungry, like starving, like their vitae is low for some reason.
As a temporary bruiser for Madame Ime, I am very aware of energy and atmosphere, especially here in a place that I now consider home. As soon as I'm walking in, I see people are tense, there's something off. I shove the bags of food and sustenance that I've gathered in my trip here, I shove them off to the side, dropping them in the hands of the bouncer. Immediately, I'm moving forward, and my hands are ready to strike if I need to. Something is strange here. Immediately, my thoughts go to seek out Ime.
You see
I-
Ime feeding and enjoying a very delectable looking meal.
I think at that point I pull out and I just kind of like have a piece of cloth and I tie it around the wound. And I run the back of my hand against this gentleman's face. And I sit him down in a chair that is next to the throne in which I sit. And I look out at the bartenders who I would assume are kind of looking a little confused.
The bartenders are are experienced enough to know that when you have hungry kindred patrons, it's okay to overpour. We don't need a mess in here. So you can see them kind of trying to prepare for said issue.
I nod at them to start doing that. And I think, just because I'd like to be prepared, I have people who are quick enough to start grabbing drinks as they're being poured and handing them out. And so I stand and I look up and around at the room, assessing it, and I take my thumb and just very delicately wipe any remaining bits from my lips. Well, darlings, I see we're all a little hungry today. And I just giggle, and I assume like my staff starts like, you know.
Of course.
And then I step down and into the center, and I nod to Kim, and I give her a wink, like a reassuring wink.
As soon as you look at me, I have one of my hands gripping the bar. The intensity of this area is just almost holding me into place. And with the wink, you see visible stiffness begin to leave me. My tongue rolls over my fangs. And I begin to walk towards you.
As you are making your way towards me and I towards you, I kind of announce into the room, drinks are on the house, everybody. Finest on tap, whichever you prefer. We are going to keep it classy here as we do. Is that understood?
Most of the crowd is that there's almost a little bit of a breath that the crowd takes. Some of the people who were experiencing a genuine bloodlust a moment ago do cheer and run to the bar. The mortals who don't understand what's going on also run to the bar, excited to get some shots. There is one kindred, a tall, kind of beefy, built gentleman, wearing not a shirt. It's a collection of straps. It's definitely not a shirt. And he steps forward instead, and you see he's not looking at you. He's looking past you at the sort of sleepy, blissed out young mask that you were just feeding from, who is enjoying the euphoria of this after effect. You
I
gonna finish that?
kind of slide over and I tilt my head to the side. And I'm assuming that this man is taller than me because I am only 5'3",
Yeah, yeah.
5'5" in boots. So,
Mhm.
I smile. And I'm assuming I've not seen this person here before.
He may have been here before. He's not a regular. He's not someone who's interacted with you before, certainly.
Gotcha. I kind of give Kim a glance. That knowing, like,
Almost instinctively, I begin to step behind the person.
perfect. So I smile and I extend a very delicate manicured hand. I'm sorry, darling. I didn't get your name. What was it?
My name is Roger.
Roger. Delightful. I'm Madame Ime. And that there is mine. So I will finish if and when I choose.
I just think,
Shh,
I mean-
shh, shh, shh. No. That's your first problem. You thought. Not here. Understood? There's plenty of drinks at the bar.
you. Could you just please, could you give me charisma and leadership?
Absolutely.
And I would like actually for Kim to also roll. I think what is Kim's posture behind this man? Is it like just being like a looming physical presence?
So I'm only 5'5". I don't think there's very much looming to be done physically, but I am standing sure-footed, boots, and I am lighting a cigarette while standing directly behind this person.
Okay, I want you to give me a composure intimidation.
I got 4 successes, I believe.
Beautiful.
I've got 3 successes.
Excellent. Oh, Roger. So he like getting cut off. You see him shrink just a little. Takes a deep breath, looks over his shoulder to see the source of the cigarette smoke. And he hangs his head and sorry, Madame Ime. I didn't mean to act out of line.
I grin. And I kind of like get a little bit closer, definitely in his sphere. And I kind of just run a finger along the outside of his bicep and I say, let's make sure that doesn't happen again, Roger.
Yes, madam. You won't hear a peep from me.
Good boy. Come on. And I kind of like shoo him off towards the bar.
He runs to the bar, all quiet. He even puts a shirt on.
Not the shirt.
You have successfully calmed this place down, but it is curious. It is curious how escalated things almost got for just a moment there. Your patrons are well fed. your bar is overflowing.
I close the distance between us and I lower the cigarette and just hold it by my side. It was kind of tense in here. You could almost sink your teeth into it.
It was, wasn't it? It's a little strange. I'm not sure why. That's not the first time that that's happened. Open feeding here happens nightly.
Do you have any suspicions?
I don't. I had a weird vision. I don't necessarily remember all of it, but something feels different. It feels uneasy, restless.
Unsafe?
I don't know if I'd go that far yet, but it's quite possible.
Well, I don't have any plans for the rest of the night. Think I'll hang out here, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely. You can go ahead up on stage if you'd like. I am going to check on stock count for a moment, just to make sure that we are indeed fully stocked, because I have a funny feeling that tonight we may be sold out.
Well, you think that you need some extra? I'm willing to haul a few boxes back. Just let me know.
I will. And like as I say that, I'm searching the room. I don't know for what, but I'm just being overly aware. And I lean down and I grab your hand, Kim, and I kind of just give it a gentle squeeze.
I squeeze it back.
No matter what, stay safe, yes? I'd hate to have to dirty my nails because somebody scratched you.
Oh, don't worry. I'll rip their fingers off.
That's what I love about you most. And I kind of saunter towards the bar, as Kane would kind of address you respectfully and bring you up onto that little platform area.
I would gesture over to the bouncer, and I eventually, when the bags get brought back to me, I yank them out of their hand, and I'll position myself at the stage, and with a small table, I'll set down a container, a to-go container, and the plastic crinkles as I undo it. I pull out a now cold dumpling, and I run it across the bridge of my nose just to smell it. And that's what I'll be doing.
It is now where I would like to move over and visit Fanaa. Fanaa, we left you leaving the park outside the school grounds where you're able to get a little bit of peace. Usually, uh, this night, maybe not so much peace. Um, but you had a relatively safe evening reading so far. As you leave the park to continue on your way, I would like to ask the same question of Fanaa as I asked to Kim, which is there anything about the city that Fanaa finds themselves paying attention to, getting caught up in, enjoying as they walk?
Enjoying is a funny word, I think,
Okay.
because it's so difficult to enjoy the things that Fanaa sees around them, because when they're looking, they're not really looking to be a part of it, they're looking to run away from it. They're looking for bits of danger, potential enemies, potential harm. And so I think the things that Fanaa observes, the things that they always observe, are the faces of everyone else around them. What are they doing? How are they moving their hands? Did that person just put their hand in their back? Are they about to? No, it's okay. It's fine. That's not for me. And it is people. It's always people that Fanaa pays attention to. Their faces, their expressions, their movements. They get lost in it. They don't enjoy it, though.
This hyper awareness is born out of necessity. And tonight, as you're walking down the street, there are normal things you see sometimes walking by. As you walk down the street, the old pre-war buildings, occasionally you look and glance, and just for a moment you see the visage in the window that you know isn't supposed to be there. Not anymore. That's all right. You keep going. They don't pay you any mind. These things, not these ones. The people seem to be turning occasionally as you walk down. First, it was a guy who hung his head out of the car window, looked back the other way as you walked past, almost like a double take. Then it was a couple of kids out on the stoop sneaking a cigarette. You walked past and they walked up to the gate. You heard a little bit of murmuring. Still okay. They didn't leave the yard. They stayed where they were.
Every time this happens, Fanaa, I think, lowers their gaze a little bit, being acutely aware of the fact that the strangest thing about them are their eyes, and trying not to draw any more attention than necessary. They, I think, try to draw their hair, their curly, messy mop of dark bluish black hair, further in front of them to obscure their eyes just enough. And they look down at their feet, and their myriad of scleras kind of darting back and forth to the corners around as they notice people noticing them.
I would like for Fanaa to make me a wits awareness roll as they start to try to conceal themselves as they continue on.
So this is a disguise roll then?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
You have that. Yes, this is a
I do
disguise.
have a penalty to that, so that'll be fun for me. 2 successes.
You walk for a considerably long distance before you realize it's tricky. Because when you walk, each time your feet hit the pavement, they make a sound. You hear the sound of your shoes. What kind of shoes? Sneakers? Cleats? What do we got?
I think so. Fanaa's whole fashion sense is very like 90s inspired. So I think they're wearing these like old, like, I can't believe I have to say this word, vintage. Please excuse me. It is unfortunately true now. Vintage style sneakers from like
Yeah.
the 90s.
Okay. You hear each time you take a step the sort of soft clap of your sneaker sole against the sidewalk. And it took you a long while to realize it because it was so well timed, almost in the exact same moments. But there is not just one set of footprints, footsteps that you are hearing along with your own. A few yards back behind you, you hear and finally notice that there is another set of feet walking behind you.
And Fanaa's whole body tenses up as soon as they realize that, as soon as they realize that there is one person, maybe multiple people, I can't tell yet, following me. Probably following me. This has been a while. And Fanaa, I think, tries really, really hard not to be conspicuous about it, but starts to walk a little bit faster, picking up the pace. And they, as they're looking down, trying to keep themselves a little bit more hidden, they start looking, I think, for like shortcuts, ways through the city in order to get to Madame Ime's club as soon as possible.
Excellent. So we can do a wits and survival, I think, for this to see how well you can dart. But as you pick up the pace while you're rolling that, this is where the footsteps completely lose their syndication with yours as they try to speed up along with you.
I got 2 successes again. I've rolled 7 dice.
Wow. Okay. You pick up the speed. You dart. Hamnah.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna
Please.
use a willpower to re-roll 3 of those dice because
All
that's
right.
rude. That's
All
so
right,
rude.
do it.
God damn it. Okay, 3 successes. I got 1 extra.
Okay, that's 1 extra. Out of 7 dice, you said?
Yeah.
Great. You pick up the pace. You dart down an alley and through another. You hear like the footsteps just for a moment, like get a little bit further away and then speed up, and you hear them now pounding on the pavement. You hear
Finish your thought.
you hear the pounding on the pavement become a clawing of the pavement.
And Fanaa has a moment in their mind where they think, God fucking damn it. Of course. Why would that not happen? And in their head, I think Fanaa takes a moment, just a moment, to turn around to see who it is, fully expecting to see Amber.
You turn around in just the amount of time needed to see a very non-Amber, very kind of like bearded, male-esque looking face, gruffy, older, and you see he's already gone, to all fours, and you turn around in time to see like the face kind of shift over completely into a lichen form, a bestial snout that is just salivating and leaving a trail in its wake as it starts to bound after you.
And Fanaa books it. I think they run as quickly as they can, starting to find like obstacles to try and run through and over in order to try and slow down this person that is chasing them. They go through different alleyways. They, I think, hop fences. They are just trying to put something in between the two of them so that they can run and ideally get to safety, get to Madame Ime's club. That is the singular thought in Fanaa's head right now, is find Madame Ime's club, get there right now.
Okay. I want to make one more with survival, and we're gonna do it contested and see if you can make your way there ahead of this thing.
I
Your
got
chance.
4.
4 successes?
Yeah.
I got 2. You know
Oh
what?
my god.
Doesn't matter how we got there. It was rough going for a minute. And it is close. There are times where you can almost hear and feel the breath of this thing on your neck, right behind you. It is not even howling. It is making a just guttural, ravenous sound behind you. You are the only thing it can focus on. But you turn just the right corner at just the right time. And Madame Ime's club being in visible distance is when the beast screeches to a halt. You hear nails scratch against the sidewalk as this creature knows that this is a bridge too far. And you can kind of hear it and feel it retreat back into the alleyway as you run inside, I assume.
Yes, there is no slowing down. Even as Fanaa hears this person stopping, hears the claws up against the pavement and hears the footsteps stop and get further and further away, it doesn't matter. Fanaa is going to run full speed into Madame Ime's club, like bursting through the doors, their hair askew. I think that their bag also is like partially falling off of their shoulders as they walk in. And as soon as they do, they kind of like run in and like make a beeline towards just any sort of like nook or cranny that they can find inside of this bar that they know of, in order to like lose themselves in the crowd in case this person follows them for some reason.
When you run in, there is a crowd at the bar. Everybody's really enjoying their time at the bar tonight. The drinks are flowing, and everybody seems to be in a very, very good mood. As you walk in, and Kim and Madame Ime are there in the main part of the club. Just as you approach them, before you have much time to react, at the bar, 2 or 3 kindred faces turn, fangs out. And I would like to take a moment to visit my dear friend Matt, Auguste, for a moment. Auguste?
Oh, August is having a great day.
Yeah, August
Nothing
has
bad
been
is
having-
happening to August.
Nothing bad's been happening to August. August, I imagine the drive home was sad. How are you doing?
There is this like familial feeling of like a hairline fracture in Auguste's almost like soul, persona, everything that he is. There is this small crack in it that he knows he can like feel it when it happens, because there is this like extreme, I don't want to say rage, doesn't sound right, but just a breaking point that he's at.
Yeah.
And there is this moment of weakness that he sees when he catches himself thinking, after everything I've done for you, you're just going to kick me out of your house. And they catch themselves, and it's they try to play it off like an intrusive thought, but he knows that it's not.
Does August have any contacts that, you know, help feed them any information about goings on that might be of interest to him? Anybody who might feed him uh maybe not always reliable data, but data nonetheless?
Would it make sense for it being someone at the government company that has a lead that is too small, that the like agency that he used to be part of is just like, this is too small, this is like one person, but then someone down the line is like, oh well, maybe Auguste will take it. Auguste takes the small jobs, the one vampire, this person is fresh and hasn't hurt anyone yet, this is just a random kid that their parents are worried about, and have asked around, and they're probably just a teenager just going out, but it might be a vamp. And that's sometimes August catches them, catches those threads, will follow it. And a lot of the times it is nothing and leads to, it's just like, oh, this person was exaggerating, or this is a worried parent, or this is like someone who overheard people fighting, and it just went through numerous agencies until it's like, maybe they were fighting for a different reason. Maybe that kid has gone missing for something else.
Yeah. So you do get those leads occasionally, rarely. Tonight on your drive home, you get a text. Of course, from a private number, as usual. Got a lead. Got a minute?
Will, if August was to call the number, would they pick up? Or is this like purely they can only operate through tech?
They can only call you. So you have to give them the
August sends a, yes, I am free.
Not a moment later, your phone rings.
Hello, you're speaking to Auguste Dubois. How can I help?
Yeah. Hey, buddy. So we got a interesting one. Figured you'd want to be all over it. It's local, to you, and it's kind of like right up your alley, actually. We know you're trying to, you're really all about the mission, right? You're all about the mission statement, trying to, make the world a better place, right? Get rid of this
I do
curse.
not need the small talk, Harry. What is it?
All right. Whatever. Anyway, look, so there's this person of interest near you. It's not so much them. Uh I mean, although they're definitely something other than human, I would say. But that's not really the interesting part. See, one of our agents is on another job earlier tonight. Caught them running down the street. 4 immortals. And I think a werewolf stalking them the whole way down.
Wait. You 4 undead and a werewolf together?
No, that's not the impression I got. Separate. Different corners. All stalking this one. I don't know. They can't be more than their early 20s or something.
This person was human?
Jury's out. They seem to. There's something, but we haven't quite figured it out yet. But what we do know is that they're like a walking trap for, other undead.
What street was it that they were running down?
I'll send you, and you get like a text with a screenshot of a map. I would love it. I would love it if August
Oh yeah.
if
Okay.
August made me a wits awareness roll right now.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, that's great because I'm good at these. Or am I? No. I rolled 7 dice. I got 1.
One success.
Is there a willpower equivalent in Hunter?
Actually, I rolled a 1 on one of those, so I actually got 0.
You got a botch. Oh no, you got it. You got it. Not a botch. You got no successes.
I got nothing.
Right, August. He says to you,
Is August still on the phone?
yeah.
I do not have the app that you need to open this, so I'm going to assume.
It's all good. I'll send you the location, buddy. Look,
Okay.
You do with it what you want. I just figure I know that you like doing damage to this sickness that's plaguing our world. This person is attracting them, and they are just going wherever they go. So I figured you'd want to know. It's in your city. I figured you'd have a blast. You could really do some damage this time. Take out a whole bunch.
Okay. You seem very cavalier about this. Have a blast and saying that I will have fun in this. This is not a joke. This is a sickness. We are healers in our job, line of work. You understand this?
We are, bud. Yeah. Speaking of, I got a lot of sickness to heal before end of day, But I just figured I'd throw that on your plate. Don't, you don't work for us anymore. I figured you might want to know what's going on in your city.
Is it just me?
You are you know what? You're getting first dibs on this one. We'll get somebody on it eventually.
I'll look into it. Thank you.
Hey, will. All right. Anyway, be well.
You too.
And he hangs up. The link to the map is on your phone. It points to a location. It's not an active location share. It's just a screenshot of a map that has a little X and then some like red highlighted marks, one about half a block behind this target, and then positioned on rooftops in several areas around them.
Now, I don't want to speak for you or what you have, like the idea that you have, and but could I call Enoch?
I would love if you called Enoch, and I would love if we brought our screen over to Auguste and Enoch so that we could play this out. But yes, please go ahead.
Search through like reliable contacts that are in his area, and can't find anyone that August like trusts to do the job, except for Enoch. Calls on his phone.
So I think, what day of the week is it again? Forgot to. I think I asked last time. I forgot.
Weekday, I believe it was like a
Weekday?
Thursday or something.
Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
I think. And what time is it right now?
It's fully like the middle of the night now, like maybe somewhere around 11, approaching midnight.
Yeah. Okay. Eleanor convinced Enoch to let her stay up, and I think we're in the middle of a game of Mario Party on screen.
Phenomenal.
And Eleanor is kicking Enoch's butt, just absolutely dominating. They've got 3 stars. Enoch had 3 stars at one point, had all of them stolen by the computers and Eleanor. He's a he's he's pretending to be a sore loser as a joke, but I think he's a little bit of an actual sore loser. So it's like
Good.
It's
good.
web. It's web. I don't get the stars are ridiculous. Okay, most stars for getting the worst items. That's just why that doesn't. I'm pretty sure I moved less than Bowser did. Why did they get that? I don't. It's whatever. It's fine. I'm not mad or anything. It's just not how we used to play it back in the day. Okay, they clearly changed something in the recent update or whatever. And,
So yeah.
And then I'll hear my phone ringing.
Good.
It's like, give me a sec. Hold on. I'm losing anyway. I'm going to toss the controller to the side, and we'll take his phone, and I think it will see who's calling. And I honestly imagine he doesn't even have August's name as a contact.
I don't think we've spoken in actual years.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, in that case, we have kept the same number.
Yeah. Would imagine so, yeah.
Yeah. I think in that case then it would probably just say work. Like it would just have you under the word work. And seeing that, they will kind of quickly look over to Eleanor to see that they're still playing and again still dominating. Knowing that he didn't put a dent in it even when he was at the controls. Will dip into his bedroom before answering the phone. And just go, hello?
Hello, Enoch. I have work for you. A chance to repay for a few years ago.
Okay. Is it urgent? We're doing that right now.
It is interesting. I would not call you if it was not important.
Enoch takes a seat on the bed and he lets out a sigh. I don't think it's really easy to tell if it's from frustration or relief, which is a weird combination. We can't tell where it kind of lies. But after a moment of silence, he goes, okay, what's the job?
Someone not quite human running away from 4 undead and 1 werewolf. We do not know the context.
Okay. So we're dealing with what, 5 others?
Chasing one. Not again human, but an interesting case. They were not working together, but had the same goal.
Okay. Do you have any other info on the person they were chasing? Do we
I do
know
not.
if they're
Late 20s, early 30s is what I was told, correct?
Yeah.
And was
roughly.
running full sprint.
okay?
I have
When were they last seen? What location? And where do you need me?
the last location was here. The time that they were seen was a few hours ago. And is Enoch has a safe house, correct?
Yes, Enoch's apartment is essentially a safe house.
Ah, brilliant. Does Auguste know about it? Know where it is?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
Auguste will send the location of the map. I will drive. You can be on foot, take public transport, or drive yourself, but we will drive in my car.
Yeah, no, I can walk it. And I'll send a picture. I'll send a picture again. Like resend the map that you sent me, and have a warehouse that I know is empty, circled around. Then I'd be like, I'll meet you there.
Prepare for activity.
Will do. It was good hearing back from you, Auguste.
Please send. Oh, wait. Auguste know about Eleanor?
No, I don't think he would either. No.
In response, just I will see you soon. And then hangs up.
Leans
Warehouse.
Back.
Oh, please.
Oh, yeah, no, he leans back a little bit, again, letting out a sigh before standing up and poking his head out of his room to see Eleanor still in the living room playing Mario Party and goes, "Hey, time to go to bed."
Ugh. Tyrant.
Listen, it's nearly 12 in the morning. I've been pretty lenient, all things considered, especially since it's still school night, okay?
Oh, yes, you're super progressive. Thank you, Dad. And and like feigns, victimhood as they responsibly pack up the Switch and plug everything in and head off to bed and drop the act to give you a hug goodnight.
I'll give them a tight squeeze and then kiss him on the forehead and just go, "Next time, I will beat you, okay? I'll just letting you go easy on Mario Party."
So you're sending me to bed so you can practice.
No, absolutely not. I don't know, of course not. But if I somehow became a lot better at that fishing game, maybe it's just the way things are meant to be.
All right. Well, it better be worth it. Night, Pops. And we'll march off to bed. Actually pretty sleepy at this point.
And I'll wait for a bit to make sure that she does fall asleep. I would definitely have been texting August that I'd be like, hey, gonna be a bit longer to make for things. Well, then I'll go back to my room, and within my room, I have a bathroom that connects directly to my room, but I don't use it. It's locked all the time. Eleanor's never allowed to go in there. I very rarely go in there, but I will go there and unlock the door to the bathroom and open it up, and you'll see that the reason why it's a place that I never go to, or very rarely go to, where Eleanor's never allowed to go to, is because that's where a lot of boxes of weaponry is kept.
Mm-hmm.
Very specific weaponry, especially after what we've been told of kindred and werewolves. I'm going to be getting, I'll bring out a pistol, a holster on a body holster, holster it to the side, and I think what can only really be described as a crossbow, and with a bunch of stakes with it. As I ready up, I have some strapped to me directly, some in a bag strapped around my body, and I think as well basic body armor, like enough to handle a blow, but nothing. I don't think it's bulletproof. I think it's more like impact proof, like impact resistant. Because
Right. So you
funny
kind of
enough,
still look like a civilian. You're like kind of
yes,
discreet armor kind of
yes, yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Cool.
I will have like a coat to hide like the holster of the weapons and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't look like a SWAT
Mm-hmm.
agent or anything like that. As I head out to the point to where I located, where I put on the map to meet August. Um, I think
Yeah.
just because I think it'll be fun. I think he doesn't walk it. I think he has a motorbike. He has a motorcycle and he rides.
Ah.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, sure. Be the coolest guy in the room.
Hot. So this
Um,
warehouse, how I want to say, because the location that was shared with August and by proxy to you is about 2 blocks away from what you would both know to be a notable place of, supernatural activity. Uh
yeah.
aka Ime's club. You would know that this location is nearby. How far to be like nearby the location that was a point of interest? Are you gonna go kind of right nearby there, or like how much is the distance?
I think, and Matt, you can correct me because I think August would also have a lot of say, especially in this kind of stuff. With how this is kind of strategic. I think it'll be like honestly further about 3 or 4 blocks away from it. And I think it's like I said warehouse, but I think probably in the location, probably like a shop that's been like empty, like no one uses the storefront anymore. It's like an empty shop that's
Sure.
that's still looking for someone to let or something like that.
Unfortunately, very common.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, you meet up there. I'm gonna say on a motorbike. Enoch is gonna safely get there first. Before August arrives. Is there anything that you need to do to prepare while you're there?
I mean, August would have to go home to pack up a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
and get ready. And then would pack, like, knowing they're going to go to a shop, would pack very basic, like, like, emergency, oh shit, things have gone down, run into the shop, there's like a small cross that they can like, and like just general religious artifacts that they can like hammer above doors and stuff. Like, I don't know if salt is a thing in this world, but like enough salt to like salt around windows so ghosts, in case it's ghosts, can't get in because they don't know what it is yet. Just kind of one of everything. Also, I imagine no, never mind. Second bit, don't worry about it. I was thinking like August would like buy a coffee for both of them, but I don't think August would.
Oh,
Yeah,
August does not do it. Yeah.
I do want to ask, do you bring any steaks? That is
Yeah,
something from
all
the chat
day.
that I think is very important. You bring some stakes. Okay, good.
Yeah. Like fully, I think they bring stakes, their revolver, and like the shotgun is in the trunk in case it's like a big. They also have their cane. They don't need it unless they spend the previous like an amount of time like sprinting, which they think they might do. So they brought it, but they don't use it. They're not like needing it at the minute. They can walk just fine.
Auguste, I would like you to make a composure and drive roll for me.
Oh yeah, this is great. Let's get another one. I have no drive, which is great.
This is a very difficult roll too, by the way.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
You do not find parking anywhere nearby this empty shop. It is it is already impossible to park. So, do you choose to still leave the shotgun in the trunk, or do you bring
Nope.
it in with you?
Bring it with 100%.
Okay. All right. Inside the hollowed out, kind of empty shop, luckily the windows are boarded with the for sale signs, so you're kind of free to kind of drop demeanor in whatever way that means to you in here. No one is going to be perceiving anything through the shop window at all when you arrive.
Imagining Enoch gets there first by a country mile.
I
Yeah.
would assume.
I would have already. I was gonna say pick the lock. I don't think he really picks. I think kind of like forces the door open
Yeah.
before getting in, and he's already like laid out some of the weaponry he brought. I think I need. So I don't know how. This is my first time actually playing and rolling this kind of stuff. Do I need to roll for the arsenal and ordnance I have, because those are like advantages I have? I'm not the advantages, perks I have.
For the
I
perks you have,
believe there's a roll.
what is the perk you're talking about? I will.
2. I'm gonna be using arsenal, which is basically I have weaponries, and ordnance, which is basically like explosives and stuff like that. And each of them have the perks. For arsenal, I have exotics and team requisition, which lets me. The exotics lets me make those weapons useful against, like have features that are actually useful against like kindred, werewolves, all of that. So silver bullets, stakes, and all of that. Team requisition lets me have enough of them to give to a group. For ordnance, I have exotics, which is the same thing, and multiple payloads, which lets me make multiple of them as well, or bring multiple of them.
Yes, I believe so. I believe your arsenal is going to be a I believe you
They
should
can
have a
roll by
gun roll.
Yeah.
If I and it should be.
Okay, so
Sorry, gang.
no, you're perfect. I can read out what I see.
Mhm.
So I actually wrote a description of it all.
Okay.
So for Arsenal, hunters who keep and maintain the Arsenal test intelligence plus craft, those who rely on
Oh, yeah.
context test manipulation streetwise. I actually like keep them and maintain them. So I've been using intelligence and craft for that.
Yeah, intelligence
Um,
plus craft is what you would do to like kind of maintain and build the arsenal. Yeah.
yeah. And
Um.
I believe if I roll,
Mhm.
I think I just have enough for everyone. I think actually. Additional margin of the win. So I have to roll, and depending on how much I beat a difficulty 4,
Mhm.
is how much extra weapons I have.
All right, let's go for it.
So that'll be intelligence and craft.
Mhm.
Can I use a thing that hunters have, our desperation die pool?
Yes, I would love for you to tell me though what Enoch feels desperate about in this, like to use it.
Yeah. Um, I think honestly, just the numbers. We have 2 hunters
Mhm.
versus 5, maybe 6 creatures that aren't human at the very least. We've got what 3 or 4 kindred and a werewolf, plus all tailing someone who at the very least certainly isn't human. So that's a lot for 2 to handle.
Yeah.
So I think in that case, I'm desperate.
Got it. Understandable. All right. Yes, you can use that, and let me know what you roll.
So I believe. So, what level of desperation are we at? Because I think the dice pool depends on what the GM thinks desperation level of the cell is. I think it's between 1 to 5.
I think four kindred, one werewolf, all after the same target is enough to get you a 3.
Auguste also hasn't been planning for months, so the first is also a little like. "Ugh."
Yeah.
Just make sure I'm rolling this right. Difficulty 4. Oh, okay. So I got 4 successes, which I believe, at least for the Arsenal, means I don't have more than enough for both I and Auguste. I only have enough for myself.
Just for you.
Yeah.
That sounds fine.
And I think I would do the same for Ordnance, as I'm going to bring basically equivalent of holy water bombs and see if I have enough for others as well in this. And this is a composure and science roll. Right. Okay, so I don't think I have any holy water bombs. As if you flash back, we see them ruffling through their rucksack and seeing that they must have used the last of their ordnance in the last mission they had a while ago. They haven't really restocked since then. So when you come in, August, you see a rifle, a hand crossbow with a couple of stakes, and I think you don't see it, but you know he always carries it on him. It hasn't really changed since the last time we worked together. A knife strapped to his thigh, but other than that, he hasn't really brought anything else. As he looks up, hey.
August looks down at the items, not having been able to bring like a bunch himself to the thing. I think if August had had a better day, would turn around and leave. Would be like, we are unprepared, and then we'll walk away. But like, there is like, things are just have been a bit weird, and their mind is just a little foggy to look at everything and just look disappointed at the hall. Okay, well, I did not expect you to have the resources of our old friends, but this will do.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest, it was a bit short notice. Couldn't really put together any holy water bombs or that many stakes, but I think we can make do. Especially if we have to separate them and deal with them one by one.
Okay. My car is a few blocks away. I could not find adequate parking. So I don't know how we want to play this. If we want to take it slow or investigate on foot.
Yeah, on foot is probably best. Do you know what direction that we're heading in, so we know where our end point might be?
Pulls up the map Is there like an arrow like pointing they were running in this direction?
There is no arrow necessarily. What you do see is where the target is marked and where the pursuants are behind.
So we can assume.
You can kind of assume it is not a direct line in any sort of way to the club you are both familiar with, but it is in a general direction. It's like about a block this way, a block that way, a block this way. So it's like in a Z formation away from it. There is a reasonable high likelihood that that is the direction they were headed in.
When Enoch sees this, he kind of just, God damn it. Okay. Taking a better look at this before I accepted this job. They're likely going to the club.
They may already be dead.
Well, if they're dead, that just means we've got, what, 5 Falconch and a werewolf loose? So we still have a job to do.
I do not think it's smart for us to go to the club. Not as unprepared as we are. We could try to follow the wolf's line. There was only one, but werewolves are... Is it full moon tonight? Do werewolves follow that?
Great question, Matt. No, it's not.
But this
That's
happened
strange.
today?
Mm-hmm. It sure did.
Is that strange? Like, we've hunted werewolves before. Is that a weird thing?
I will. You do not need to roll for that. It is a weird thing. In
I think
public, on a city
both-
street.
Both Enoch and Auguste clock it at the same time.
100%.
Just like...
Where did you get this information from?
The agency.
You didn't tell me it was the agency. Okay, are they going to have eyes on this place? They cannot know I'm here.
No. It was a friendly heads up of a job. A werewolf without a full moon. A hunt taking place of someone who is not human running to Ime's club.
They is. Has been weird. Okay. Yeah, no, if we have information on this werewolf and what direction they went in, we can track them down. I can probably be in the club without raising too much suspicion. They haven't seen my face. From what I've understood, they have seen yours.
I do not believe it's smart that my partner go into the club. Perhaps we should investigate the rooftops that the undead were on. Perhaps there is something that will lend us a hand. And then if we find something, we can discuss other options.
Okay. Sounds good. And I'll toss Auguste a walkie-talkie. And I'll put my pistol back in the holster, the bag with some knives and a hand crossbow. And I'll point at one of the dots and be like, I'll take this one. Do you want to take the other, or we're going to take both? We're going to take it at the same time.
At the same time, seems smart. I don't want anything jumping out and the other one not being able to help.
It's good to me. Let's go with this one. And Drak, don't know. I think he'll just point to like the one closest in.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That one.
August open-handed towards the door. Lead the way.
I will lead the way.
Follows in. August tries to shut the door. Did Enoch fully break the lock? Like, is it unlockable?
I think it's unlockable.
Yeah.
Shuts the door and it just kind of like.
It just. You close the door behind you and exit into the city street. It is silent outside. Not quiet, not peaceful, not serene. Silent. There is no background traffic. There are no horns in the distance. There are no sirens. There is no construction. There are no party goers. There are no pedestrians. There are no buzzes of the electronics of stoplights or machinery or computers or anything. There is not the buzz of a cell phone, nor the flick of a fly's wings. There is no sound out here. We should take a break.
Oh, you ass. God damn it.
Before we come back and find out what happens next in Enemy of My Enemy, please go take a stretch, grab something to drink, and we will be back in what is it, 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes. And
10
also keep
minutes.
an eye in chat, because I believe the mods are going to be doing a giveaway of the
Yes.
Vampire the Masquerade Ultimate Bundle and a Hunter the Reckoning core rulebook. They'll explain how to enter that competition. Just do that while you're stretching and getting a drink.
Do that. Yeah. All right, we'll see you in 10 minutes, folks.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a good stretch and got their hydration in and entered the giveaway. So sorry. For Auguste and Enoch, you walked outside and sensed a deep, unsettling, absolute silence. Inside the club, there was no such silence, just the awkward and menacing stares from not everyone, mind you, just a few people, Fanaa, who turned to you with a hunger in their eyes as you settled into the club nearby to Madame Ime and Kim.
I imagine this is a pretty normal sight for both Madame Ime and Kim, so it's probably not alarming that Fanaa has rushed into the club and that they are ruffled and their hair is all over the place and their clothes are a little bit askew. That's not unusual, I don't think. And when they come up, they are very anxious, as they normally are when this happens, and just kind of distracted, looking at these couple of vampires that have been staring them down, and then looking back at Madame Ime and Kim. So that's an interesting night tonight.
I think what I would do is I kind of walk over to Fanaa and I like brush their hair out of their face, and I'm kind of like doing the mom thing where I hold on to their face and I'm like inspecting them for any wounds, and I kind of just like take a deep breath and place my hand on their shoulders, and I say, again.
And I would walk past Fanaa, immediately going towards the door to like peek outside.
Interesting. Outside, there are no threats. There is no nothing. There's no movement, no sound. It is dead quiet out there, Kim.
Okay. I will close the door and make my way back over to Fanaa and Madame Ime. I won't say anything yet.
Again. This time, werewolf, I think.
A werewolf.
It's my fault. One approached me in the park tonight, and I shouldn't have believed them. They said that they wanted to help me, and, well, they didn't attack me, but clearly one of their friends or something.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay. At this point, do I see these vampires that are kind of like looking at Fanaa?
Definitely you would be aware of this. It's not unusual for your patrons to look at them when they come in, but given the behaviors of people earlier tonight,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely a sign to be extra cautious.
I kind of just give the look to Kim, and I turn around in front of Fanaa, nodding at them as if to kind of say, yes, I will acknowledge that in a moment. I have to take care of this. And I look at these various patrons who are now fanged out and looking over at us. I suggest if you know what is good for you, you will proceed to the bar.
This time, they do. They turn. Not quite as eagerly as they did the last time you commanded it. Not quite as joyful. Occasional glances over a shoulder. Occasional sniffs in the air. There's a tension and a little bit of a quiet over the bar as people quietly drink, ignoring, it seems at some point, the human companions that are eager next to them.
I will step up to Fanaa as Madame Ime addresses the others. I'll lower my voice, dip my chin a bit. Have you noticed something unusual outside?
Other than the werewolves? No.
I see no werewolf. But there is an eerie silence over the street.
Silence, like there's just nobody outside, or?
Silence like there's trouble. Something unusual.
I'm sorry. It's probably my fault. Should I leave?
No.
Something feels different here tonight.
Yes. I felt it too. I don't really know what's going on, but Madame Ime is trying her best to tend to it. I think you should stick close.
Okay. If there's anything I can do to help, I mean, to lay low or something, let me know.
Did you get into trouble?
I was fooled.
Fooled?
Someone claiming to want to help. And, well, turns out help means attack me.
Well, I would hope that you know by now that any illusion of help comes with a price, especially in New York City.
I know. And you can see that Fanaa's, I think, deflates a little bit at that. I just hoped, I guess.
Kim raises a reassuring hand to cup your elbow, gives a gentle squeeze. I think you should avoid the bar.
You're right. Can I stick with you for a bit? Is that okay?
Do you want to sniff my chocolate bar? I've got chocolate and gum.
What kind of chocolate?
It's got caramel in it.
Yeah.
I'll lead you to the stage and we just sniff these chocolate bars I got at a bodega.
I think Kane would be kind of like tending to both of you very adamantly and making sure that you are cared for. And he would likely summon some kind of food to your preferences if, just to like have it there with you both.
Can't
And-
you get me a cup smoker?
Lamb's blood for me, if that's okay.
He nods. He already kind of knew. So he like made sure that it was headed your way. Ime walks up to a couple of these patrons. My friends, it seems that you are unable to help yourselves this evening, so perhaps it's for the best if you go home. I would hate to have to hurt you for harming a single hair on my dear Fanaa's head.
A few of them just sort of nod, finish their drinks, pay their tabs very quickly, and nod on the way out. One young looking woman, definitely not young actually, does kind of grab like at your arm and like tries to whisper in close to you if you allow her to.
I do, but I'm at the ready.
Madame Ime, I'm sorry. I fed yesterday.
Yes.
I fed yesterday. And you get a look at her face and you see that she is looking starved, drained, hungry.
Goodness. And then I gesture to the bartender to like bring another glass, and I give it to her. And am I noticing anything that may be plaguing her anything that's like attached to her, just based off of. I do have some occult ability based off of my
Yeah,
history.
I would love for you to make me a wits occult roll to try to see if there's anything here.
I think they canceled each other out because I got a 10 and then I also got a 1.
Got it. Yep. Okay. All you can say is that this has been the vibe of everyone today. Everybody's been unruly.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has been misbehaving and being very disrespectful to your rules. This person is not an exception to that. This person has earlier threatened your dinner. This person has made eyes at one of your loyal and trusted guests who you consider a ward in some ways. This person is not necessarily cleared of guilt in that way. And you can't see anything that happens to be plaguing them.
Well, my darling, I'm sorry that you're so hungry and that what we have to offer is not good enough for you. But, and I clap my hands and like it just echoes as the music suddenly stops. It is time to go home, everyone.
You address it, everyone in that. Okay. As you said, the music does stop. People pause for a very dark moment to make sure that there's not a second part to that. And once they realize that there is not, people do begin packing up. Obviously, not your staff. Obviously, not your most trusted inner circle, but the patrons, yes.
At this
As
announcement,
oh,
I
yeah.
look incredibly uncomfortable. I look over at Fanaa, and then I begin to make my way towards Madame Ime.
Yeah.
And Fanaa, I think, hesitates for a moment because where Ime is at the bar, which is where I'm not supposed to be. But also Fanaa is very, very anxious, I think, being alone on the stage. So I think it takes maybe like a couple moments before they like put the chocolate bar down that they had been sniffing with Kim, and
Yeah.
they follow them.
Madame Ime, I noticed outside there's something strange. I've never been one to question your judgment. I worry that sending everyone away, I don't know.
I take a deep breath and I nod and I kind of just place a hand on your shoulder, reassuring. All right. Then we will have everybody head downstairs to the basement.
Perhaps you can join me and see what's strange outside.
Of course. Of course. And then I clap my hands again. Everyone, change of plans. We are all going downstairs.
If I could blush, I would blush. My eyes go downcast, almost guilty.
So much relief in the crowd.
There is plenty of food. Have at it. Although, if you drink all of it, I will find you and you will pay me. Understood?
Murmurs of agreement.
Perfect.
Yes. As they head down. Fanaa, as this hubbub is going on, can you make me a wits awareness roll?
Yeah. I got 4 successes.
Amazing.
I got a 1 on my hunger die. I don't know what that means.
Okay. That's okay. That's good. Okay. Hunters, before we find out what Fanaa sees, Hunters, you leave the building into this quiet, presumably headed to a rooftop, but feeling the eeriness outside. Do you still head to your planned destination?
Yes. I think I'm definitely, at least, again, I can't speak for August, but I'm a little bit more on edge for sure. I think it's strange. I've been here for, lived here for at least a few months now, maybe 8 or 9 months at this point, and it's never been this quiet at night. So this is strange, but unless August suggests otherwise, I would have kept leading the way to the rooftop that we pointed out.
August definitely does like keep with the plan. It's definitely safer to get on high ground if, you know, with the atmosphere that is being taken. But August is thinking like it's almost like the city itself isn't human, and that puts them on edge so much that they are walking. They've taken their cane, but they like have a hand in their jacket, like gripped onto their revolver as they walk. It's definitely, he's on edge.
When you get up to rooftop A, we'll call it the first spot on your list. I want you both to make me a wits awareness roll or a wits occult. Different information depending on
I'll
what.
do the occult. God bless you.
I'll do the wits awareness then.
Okay.
Beautiful. Let's do it. Team work. Bam.
Let's go.
Let's go. 4
Oh,
successes.
Wait, didn't roll it. Wait,
Four
hold on.
successes.
2 successes.
Okay.
Let's go.
For our wits occult on August, you get up to the rooftop searching about there's nothing up here on this rooftop with you currently, which is great. But there is a bit of this smell in the air of necrosis, of death. You can tell that moments ago it was still here, watching and waiting. Probably maybe only left when you opened the first door to the stairwell up to this rooftop. You've smelled this in plenty of scenarios before. You can even tell which direction it fled in. Vaguely. But it was here still.
Toward the club?
No. Away.
The diseased was here. Not minutes ago. Left and points in the direction that way.
Okay. Okay, maybe you want to see if we can figure out where the others went and if they're all congregating or heading in the same direction that can give us some leads on where to hit, or at the very least scope out. That still does leave us the other, the inhuman that we're not entirely sure about
Hmm.
in what direction they went in.
Enoch, you notice down on the street level, you hear the big clamoring of the squeaking of the metal doors as they open and then slam shut. It is so pervasive through the silence of the city around you that it immediately draws your attention as you see the one patron that was kicked out of Ime's club stumble out the doors and sort of collapse onto the sidewalk for a moment, get back up, sort of look around confused. You see them like take in a big breath of air, look perplexed again, and just run off.
Hey, I think the moment I hear the metal fence game make that sound, I would like dragged August over to so we both have eyes on this whole thing take place. And seeing them run off, are they going in the direction that August said the blank body that was here had ran in, or
No,
separate
just
direction?
see, it seems like from just their body mannerisms, they went in a random direction. They
Yes.
they
Okay.
looked for some guidance and got none and then just ran.
Okay, things are getting stranger and stranger.
Can I just say for flavor at this point, after they ran out, I allow Kim to show me what's going on and
Absolutely.
we pop out
Sure.
And
collectively.
as we're walking out, I would gesture Fanaa to come with
Mhm.
us.
Okay.
Fanaa follows.
So now Fanaa and for Madame Ime, this is the first time the both of you are going to see this eerie quiet of the city.
I have never, in my 200 plus years, experienced anything like this.
Hafiz did once say that a day of silence can help you listen to the soul play. Question becomes whose soul?
Ime grins at that. Only because she's smiling almost like a proud mom. Like, that was adorable. She's not going to say that right now because we're dealing with some things, but that's very much like the heart swells a little bit and she's like, oh.
I like
my
to
baby.
imagine that Fanaa is like in between us and Kim is on the other side. Kim just goes, oh, God, and just starts lighting another cigarette.
As I'm scoping out this predicament we find ourselves in, do I happen to see either of them?
Would like you to make me a wits awareness. It's going to be a little bit of a high difficulty because they are up, elevated, and out of sight, but it's possible. Let's see.
Okay. Ooh, I got 6. I got a messy critical.
Okay. So I would love to posit to the hunters that she does look up and see you. What exactly does she see?
I think they'll just see Enoch. Enoch doesn't look like I said, he is wearing body armor, but that's underneath his clothes. For the most part, he looks like a normal civilian. Even his weaponry is underneath the jacket he's wearing. So I think they'll just see Enoch looking the direction that this person had run in.
Enoch pulled Auguste over to look at the
Yes.
patron. I think it's fair to say that, unless of course, Drax, you don't want him, like that they saw Enoch as well.
Yeah. All right. So you see the two of them kind of peering over the ledge as you look up.
You see Ime steel herself in a way that the two of you are very accustomed to for those who have crossed her. There's a calm, quiet storm of absolute hatred. She kind of gestures upward with her head to the rooftops to bring Fanaa's and Kim's attention. Hunters, specifically one Auguste Dubois.
I stop in the middle of lighting this cigarette, holding it to my mouth, and simply look up.
No. Oh, what are they doing here?
I suppose we should find out. And at that point, in this eerie silence, hello, Auguste. Fancy meeting you here, darling.
You brought your weapon with you, correct?
Yes, I did.
Well, let us go meet our greeters.
I begin to
And-
casually make some distance between me and Ime. For a trained eye, visibly putting myself in a position where I could flank somebody if they start coming up.
Sure.
August will like open the door to start going downstairs. And if vampires allow it, after they, and mainly because it's aesthetic, after they get, like, they open the door, August like walks out into the middle of the street in like this completely empty street with the vampires and the hunters on either end. August does like point the revolver in front of them, resting on their cane. Not in a, Ime would know, not in a like, I'm going to open fire, because if he was, he would have already. But keeping everyone at bay. If I will say mechanic. I have an ability called Repel the Unnatural, which literally just stops creatures in their tracks. And if that was like a thing that we would do against people, it's like no one is going closer to anyone else. We are stood like either side of the street.
So whether that gets enacted is up to whether the vampires try to.
Yeah, or if the
sort of
vampires want, obviously, like if people are like, actually, no, it's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
But
okay.
ultimately, yes.
Got it.
It's in place.
Yeah. So resting on Kane, the Repel the Unnatural perk needs like an object of focus to like it says to terrify supernatural creatures, but I think it's just making everyone just like not on edge, just like aware of them, and the object of the focus is Auguste like this person who has trained to kill vampires extremely effectively, and that's what's making this atmosphere, this slightly on edge atmosphere, happen.
Enoch will, I think, very in contrast to August, doesn't have the weapons out. Honestly, walks up with the hands in their pockets and kind of stands beside August as they kind of just look over the blank bodies in front of us. And I think again, like maybe a bit too casually, looks away from it again in the direction that the other person had run in with a like slight furrow in their brow. But won't say anything. They just stand there.
I kind of tut and I look at August and I go, "Oh, you couldn't finish the job the first time you had to bring a friend. How cute."
If I had come here to kill you, Ime, your club would already be burnt to the ground.
Oh, we both know that's a lie, August. Not without months of planning and not without months of me knowing your plans. Isn't that right? How's your leg, by the way?
There were 4 disease on rooftop, but they did not go into your club. We are not here for you. We are interested in the person they were stalking.
Interesting. And what makes you think I know anything about that?
If you believe you would know if I was stalking you, you would probably know people who were less inconspicuous.
I suppose that's
Unless
true.
you're not as smart as you say you are. All of that blood must be clogging up your brain.
August. You've had a bad day. Don't take it out on me. Who's your friend? Oh, I'm sorry.
While this conversation is happening, as soon as August said that someone had been being stalked, all of the anxiety in Fana's body ramped up. If they had a working heart, it would beat so much faster. And immediately upon hearing that there had been some sort of supernaturals on top of rooftops, Fana's eyes, their infinite different pupils, started scanning the area, all of them moving independently, looking in all directions at once, trying to see if they could find anyone that is still around.
I would like to say that Kim and Enoch were not enraptured in this this little 1v1 verbal assault happening. Could notice that potentially. Maybe not knowing why, or but taking notice that Fanaa's behavior changed at that moment.
I will say that I think Kim probably could ascertain why pretty easily, given our history together. I think
Yeah.
it's not that far of a stretch for Kim to realize why Fanaa is behaving far more anxiously.
Perfect.
Yeah, upon this, Kim doesn't, because it's so commonplace and between us, Kim doesn't react visibly to it. Instead, does wander a little bit closer to your side and just throws the lighter on the ground. The cigarette perched between her lips and says, "Do you have any matches on you?"
And like Fanaa, I think, is very clearly distracted, and it's that moment of trying to direct their focus onto someone trying to wrench their attention away from something, and they kind of go, sorry, what?
Matches, lighter.
Uh, and they go into their bag that they hadn't actually put down at all. I don't think. I think they had just kind of been clutching it, and they go through it. And if it's okay with you, Dillin, I think they do have like a little matchbook, and
Yeah,
they don't really use it very often. They don't really have
Sure.
a need to, but they kind of pull it out and hand it
Yeah.
over.
And as Kim is striking it and they light their cigarette, their eyes will flick up towards Enoch. And it's clear that Kim's paying more attention to Enoch than their surroundings.
Can I roll wits awareness to see if I do notice Fanaa's
Yes,
demeanor change?
please.
Because I
Let's
do
see.
think I really was like staring in the direction that that person had run in, trying to
Yeah.
figure out what exactly they're running to.
Let's see what you can get.
Boop. 2 successes.
Say that and let me know if you agree, Hamnah. I'd say maybe noticing like that Fanaa is looking around, but not enough to really get a vibe from them or like get any sort of real indication of what they're feeling. You just notice that they look up at the corners of the rooftops.
That seems
I
fair.
think
Cool.
there'll
And
be
you
a moment
definitely
where
see that I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
I think there's a moment where I notice Kim looking at me, and I kind of just smile. Just it's very clearly a fake smile, but it doesn't reach the eyes, but there's no hostility or menace in it at all. It's kind of like a polite smile, and then goes over to Fanaa, and I think the first thing I notice is definitely the irises, and doesn't hide it. Very clear look of surprise and then intrigue on their face, and then they follow one of the irises up behind them to one of the roofs that Fanaa is looking at, and seeing nobody there, kind of and look back to Fanaa and Kim. And I think in this case they're gonna keep eye contact with Kim. Noticing that Kim is directly looking at them, they're gonna directly look at Kim.
Kim is going to stare at you, and Kim doesn't need to blink. So Kim's just going to not blink at you.
He doesn't mind. He blinks like normal. He doesn't try to hold his stare or anything like that. But he just looks, he just stares, kind of waits for whatever this interaction between Auguste and Madame Ime is to reach whatever conclusion it may be, and be ready for whatever conclusion it may be.
Who's your friend, Auguste?
Friend is fine. I don't even look at Madame Ime, still looking at Kim.
Friend is fine. Oh, what a cute name.
It was kind of clear that wasn't really my name, but yeah, sure.
She rolls her eyes like you could hear it. She has rolled her eyes so hard you can hear her eyeballs roll in her skull. Well, gentlemen, if there's nothing else I can do for you, get the fuck off my porch.
Ooh,
You still need to answer the question.
I don't need to do anything, Auguste. You're lucky that I haven't tried to rip your fucking throat out. That's the least I could do.
I will place a hand on Auguste's shoulder
Hmm.
before actually looking to Madame Ime and saying, "We're here because a werewolf and 4 blank bodies were trailing someone that we can only assume ran into your space. Your space does seem to be the safe haven for most, so it makes sense.
Darling, you will
I
not refer
understand.
to us as blank bodies here if you want any semblance of cooperation from me.
To be quite honest, we asked without calling you that just moments ago, and you threatened to rip us apart.
Not you,
So,
him.
he's a friend of mine, friend of a friend.
Oh, right. Friend
So
of a
rather you
friend.
didn't do
Cute
that.
name. Really?
Kim will kind of wave the cigarette around, smoke pluming around them, and just offer very flatly, they've got history.
See. Well, one of you
Why?
seemed rather worried about someone trailing this person, and I'll look to Fanaa. Do you know
Worry?
who they may be trailing?
No, I don't really speak to very many people.
Fanaa. Earlier, I had you roll for wits awareness, and you got 4 successes. Quiet out here. You hear 2 things. You hear a rumbling in the distance. Sounds like thunder rolling in over maybe miles away. And you hear a soft voice from all the way inside the club. Even from out here, just how quiet things are, you hear this soft voice saying, "Come on, baby, wake up. Just wake up. Gotta wake up for me. Okay? Gotta wake up and get out of here."
And hearing that, Fanaa will move in closer to Kim and still looking over kind of nervously at Enoch, who had been talking to them. Do you hear that?
I hear 2 very loud humans. What do you
There's
hear?
somebody in the club is, I think, dying. Mm. I hear thunder coming, but it's not thunder. It's not. It's something else. There's something really wrong here, Kim.
Inside, are you sure?
Positive.
All right. You stay here. We'll check it out.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'll be right back. I'll throw
Oh,
the
okay.
cigarette down. And without a word, I'll just go back inside.
And Fanaa will get closer to Madame Ime, partially because without Kim, there's nobody to protect Madame Ime, and partially because without Kim, there's nobody to protect Fanaa.
Yeah. Kim, you step inside the club. There's nothing too strange. Mostly everybody except like the skeleton crew of the house staff is up on this floor. Everybody has moved down into the basement. You can kind of hear the muffled sounds of of party happening down there. House staff are cleaning.
Uh,
And
I'll briskly walk through the main floor. I'll look over at the bartending staff and say, is anything the fuck wrong over here? No? No? Okay. Immediately just go downstairs.
yeah. People who recognize you obviously step away, let you through, give a little head nod, of course. But seems like people are behaving, drinking, sometimes from the bar, sometimes from each other, having a decent time. Um, nothing untoward going down here.
Okay. I definitely don't do a thorough investigation. It's just kind of a quick glance over, seeing nothing visibly wrong. I immediately just get back up and then I'll go to Kane and I'll
Yeah.
say, let me know if something's going on here right away. We've got something occupying Madame Ime outside.
We need muscle.
Maybe get them ready.
Okay. Always. Anything? Do we need to get rid of the patrons?
I don't know. I mean, I just turn away and begin to leave.
Okay.
And I'll go back outside.
It's like a fucking under
I'm
the
like
bar
fucking boss. What the fuck does he
takes out a like dagger, like straps it to his hip.
At feeling Fanaa come closer to me, I like reach my hand back and like extend my hand open for them to grab if they feel the need to, and hold it. And then I take a deep breath. What do you need so I can get you guys out of here?
Why are there only 3 of you out there?
Don't worry about that. Ask relevant questions.
Your club is normally far busier. There are 5 people on this street, when normally it is frequented by nearly 100.
That's an understatement, but you are correct.
Why is there only 3 of you here?
Because I took matters into my own hands. Next question.
Is it possible for me to have Auguste just kind of understand that Fanaa is the person who is being stalked from
I
the
would
situation around us, or would you like me to roll for it?
yeah, you would have to roll for that.
That's fine.
You would have to roll for I'm gonna say wits insight. You're trying to read Fanaa's body language in reaction to everything that's being said and pieced together things. Unless Hamnah, do you have anything to add to that?
I was actually going to say, because of my flaw transparent, I get -1 to any sort of lying. So I'm willing to give you a +1 die to this.
There you
roll.
go. Perfect.
I
Okay.
appreciate that. Thank you. Oh my god. I'm rolling dog shite today. That's a 2 out of the
8.
8.
Yeah.
Do y'all have like an equivalent reroll mechanic?
Yeah.
You
Do we?
do. Yeah.
Could I use it?
Yeah, you have to spend
Is it a
what is
willpower
it?
the same?
Resolve? Willpower?
We have willpower still.
Yeah, you spend willpower.
Okay. And do I just re-roll all of them?
No,
It's up to
you can-
3.
Up to 3.
Up to 3. Okay. I'm gonna roll 3. Oh, yeah. Dang. Me being a dummy. There we go. A 6, a 10, and a 2. So that is 1 success?
That-
2 successes? Because
4 successes.
So
yeah.
4 altogether. Yeah.
So it took you a minute, but it's got to be them.
Attention, like heads, like slight cocks, to Fanaa.
Madame
chasing
Ime would probably see this as you're talking to them and step directly in front of them so you to break like eye contact.
Mm-hmm. Who is chasing you?
Me. Like I'm stepping in just because I'm being facetious. Me. Everybody, darling. I'm Madame fucking Ime.
I do not care if the disease fight the diseased. I would like to know why. There's not enough blood to go around. The bloodshed must be more.
I would like to prompt. I would like to prompt Enoch to catch on at this point to what is being implied here.
Enoch is going to sigh, just the most exasperated sigh, and fully just sit down just in the middle of the street, legs crossed, hand one chin resting on their hand, bored, as they say. Like we said, we're not here for you, Madame Ime, and your club. Honestly, above my pay grade, especially considering I'm not getting paid. I'm here for the undead and the werewolf. And for whatever
I don't know where
reason,
they are.
okay, well, can you tell us why they're following you?
I don't know why. Why are you following me?
Because they're following you and we're trying to follow them.
I don't know.
They were here not too long ago, quite literally minutes watching. I can only imagine it's the club because we were looking down from there and had perfect vision of what was going on down below. So they could still be around.
And
Nobody
they were-
is going to harm anyone here. Because this is my domain.
They mentioned that they could still be around. I think Fanaa has already been so anxious and so on edge, and having made such a grave and silly mistake earlier tonight, they are not in the place to make any more. And so I would like to use my ability Sense the Unseen to look around and to really look around.
Perfect.
I'm going to do it first and then I can describe what that looks like.
Perfect. Wonderful. Please.
I have 5 successes.
Gorgeous. Okay.
So, with this, I think at the mention that this person, this werewolf, could still be around, Fanaz, all of their pupils, all of their iris is fixated on Enoch at that. And there is this panic as they grow larger, all of them different sizes, but they all grow larger. And as soon as they do, I think you can see that they start to move like in tandem with each other almost, and they start to scan around you, and the black of their scleras start to permeate over the pupils as if there was like a shadow veneer kind of coming over their eyes. And they look around, and as they do as well, a small trickle of vitae, of blood, starts to pool underneath both of their eyes and starts to go down as if they were crying.
I think seeing this, just under their breath, but they don't make an effort of being quiet, but it's almost like a stage whisper, sort of, is the best way I can describe it, as they go undead. As you've more or less confirmed that the other person that was being followed is a vampire.
I like to imagine this is the
Before-
moment that Kim walks back outside.
Yeah.
And before we continue, I want to ask Dillin, do I
Yeah.
see anything?
Yes. So as you look around with this focus, you see several things. You see, first and foremost, past the wall of the club, from deep inside. You still see the walls of the club. It's not like you're seeing through, just emanating out. The sort of fourth dimensional figure of a woman hunched over the ground, and the voice becomes clear. Baby, get up. Please just wake up. I need you to get up now. You hear that again, and you see the figure this time inside the club. You look up to the rooftops. You see the sort of familiar dark energy that you know that the undead often leave behind. A few blood splatters over the wall where they were gripping their hands to look at you, and that vitae that is drying up, like the remnants of it just dripping down the side of the corners of that rooftop that oversees the club. You see behind Auguste a gentle looking glow of a hand desperately trying to pull him back, wrapped around the front of his chest. And the last thing that you see is off far in the distance, the source of the rumbling thunder that is echoing in your ears, seemingly alone. You see that it is not thunder. It is a gallop of hooves. It is beasts in the distance that are barely visible, even now in your most awakened state, covered and concealed in a breath of dust, but they're there, out in the distance, heading towards you.
And Fanaa squeezes Madame Ime's hand really tightly at that.
I whip around.
A day of silence can be a pilgrimage. We need to get inside. Now.
Yes. Yes. And I like, just as Kim comes out, like, we kind of like
I'm like, I hold the door open. What the fuck? I look at the two hunters.
I begrudgingly look at Kim and I'm like, let them in.
All right. I just gesture the two of them forward. I guess you're invited.
I think this entire time, Enoch has been pretty calm, like very nonchalant about the fact that they're talking with three vampires that you can only consider are incredibly powerful. But that surprises him, and it shows on his face very clearly. Still sat on the ground, he looks up at Auguste. I'm not much of a planning type, but even I think that's a bad idea.
I've got dumplings.
There are beasts coming. Unless you want to get trampled by them, I suggest you listen to Madame Ime.
Enoch stands up and dusts himself off. And I think, again, just as nonchalantly as he's been listening and participating in this conversation, he pulls out the hand crossbow and loads a stake and goes, okay.
I hold the door open.
I will look one last time at Auguste, knowing that if anyone's going to have a hard time making a decision, it's Auguste. And I will just walk in.
I am like fully racking my brain right now to think of what Auguste is going to do.
As I look at Auguste alone in the street, I will say, look, you've got history. I get it. There are moments where the dumb shit behind you've just got to leave it behind. You have 5 seconds before I close the door. Five, 4, 3, 2.
And do you believe in God?
Kim starts laughing. I know I look ridiculous. But yeah, I do. Do you?
I believe that God has died, and you are the maggots that grow from his.
Well, door's unlocked. And I walk inside.
I do think that for the into the 1000th time in Auguste's life, the door like shuts and echoes, and he is completely alone on the street. Not moving, still holding the revolver in front of him. And I think he walks in. His cane and footsteps are like echoed through the empty street as he consciously doesn't want to. But just like the memory of Henry that he tried to repress, but his body just forced into the forefront of his mind, his body is almost forcing him to walk forward.
You had walked in before Kim held the door for you so graciously for a 5 count. Everyone else walked in. Fanaa, the first thing that you notice immediately, the club is much more peaceful now. Not everybody's looking at you like food. or prey in any way. In fact, it's mostly empty, and those who are here are loyal to Ime and are treating you with the kind indifference that they are supposed to. But there's one person that you take note of immediately. It is a young fellow who is asleep, not dead, blissfully asleep on the daybed where Madame Ime feeds. He is in that half conscious, barely there state still. You all know it. He's happy. There's a smile on his face. But there is also the visage of this woman leaning across him, tugging at nothing. She tugs, but cannot grip. Come on, baby. Get up. I need you to get up. You need to leave. You need to get out of here. Something's coming. You need to go. You are the only one that witnesses this. You have just a moment to witness it before the world goes gray. And the rumbling gets closer. We will end there for tonight.
What the fuck?
What?
We will pick up with this in session 3 next week, next Friday.
Oh, okay.
We will do that. Let's say who we are. I'm gonna go in an opposite direction this time, and start with me. Hello, I'm Dillin. I'm super Dillin, maybe sometimes. I am a principal cast member on the Atomless. I'm a game designer and actual play performer, and I love doing Little World of Darkness stuff. I love it so much. So blessed to be running this with such an amazing cast of characters. I'm gonna go via the overlay and head to Kim. Stella, hello.
Hi, I'm Stellaluna on Twitch, Stellaluna TV on all their social media. I'm a TTRPG producer and performer. Today I've been Kim Raelyn. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Really appreciate the show of support. And I'm very excited to see what happens next week, especially because we're all here. Oh,
We're
man.
all here.
Oh, God.
All downhill from here.
Oh, I bet the tension is so thick you could take a bite out of it. I'm going to hand it over to Hamnah.
That is so cute. Hello, everybody. My name is Hamnah. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer and producer. You can find me over on all of the social medias at Lilith TTRPG. Today, I was Fanaa, who uses they, them, our anxious little prey. That's gonna be so fun. It'll be so chill. One thing I do want to shout out is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time over on my Twitch channel, actually, for the first time in a very long time. I will be streaming with Dare to Dream RPG. We're going to be streaming a playthrough of Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. And we're going to be talking about the game series, its lore, and how much it means to both Dare and myself because we love Kingdom Hearts a lot, actually. Fun fact, we're going to talk about how that made us both polyamorous, so that's going to be hilarious and weird.
Wow. The Kingdom Hearts polyamorous pipeline is didn't know existed. Didn't know existed until today.
But like, think about it though. Like Riku, Sora, and Kairi. Like, think about it.
Okay,
and also, there's so
yeah.
many other trios in this game series. Anyway, that's fine. Come tomorrow to hear us argue that. And I will pass it over down to Raven.
Hi, I'm Raven, aka Wreck-It Raven on the internet everywhere. I am a TTRPG performer, little baby GM, and I do fun things, I guess, sometimes. I played Madame Ime, who is near and dear to my heart. I love her so much. And goodness, like that was a lot. I'm excited. I can't. Is it Friday yet?
Is it
I
Friday
know.
yet?
And I will pass it to my arch nemesis.
Hello, beautiful, wonderful people. Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for coming along. I have been clenched for the past hour and a half. I'm so tense.
How are your butt cheeks?
I feel like I need to keep them clenched because if I don't, I will evacuate all bowels, and it's a bad situation for everyone. So,
We're no longer friends. We're not anymore. Friendship over. Done.
You canceled.
Done. Goodbye.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? My name is Matt, Captain Krell on all things. If you go on social media, you search Captain Krell. If I'm not on it, then I won't appear anywhere. But if it does, then I'm probably there. I play Auguste, and as I was saying, I'm very tense. Made genuinely what I think is a bad idea, which is stepping foot inside of a vampire's club. But
Yep.
it's spicy delicious though.
Yeah.
I also GM The Analyst, which is a Starfinder sci-fi podcast that has a beautiful, wonderful Dillin in it. About a bunch of broken people flying through space and then trying to fix what they can, and there's mystery. And we're into our second season where we're on a Wild West arc because it would be fucking sick as shit. If there was a Wild West arc. Anyway, it's very good. Google The Analyst anywhere and listen to the podcast, and then I'm gonna pass it then over to Drak.
Yes, I'm just gonna. I noticed Hamnah said it in chat. I think you forgot to mention it, Matt. It's
The
award
nominated. The award nominated Analyst. Thank you.
But hi, yes, I'm Drak or Draconics. You can find me on Twitter at Draconics. It's DRAKONIQUES. I'm a teacher, RPG, performer, producer, writer, all of that jazz. I'm actually I'm the project lead of this show. I managed to get all of these talented people together to tell an awesome story and squeeze myself in. Yes.
No, you're a talented person. I refuse to hear anything else.
Thank you. But I also played Enoch Igweze today, who was a sore loser when it came to Mario Party and uncomfortably nonchalant when it came to entering and talking to the domain and domain owner of this. I guess you can really call it a vampire sanctuary. But we'll see how that works out later. I should have had Enoch bring his Switch so he can just play that and practice in the club. But that's been very funny.
That is actually very funny.
But yes, I was going to again say thank you so much, Demiplane, for letting this be our home for this incredible show. We'll see you all next week. We also want to thank Hero Forge again for sponsoring this as well. Hero Forge is a place where you can make a bunch of customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of species and thousands of parts to choose from. You can make, if you wanted to, some kindred or hunters. If you do, please, honestly, please, if you do, tweet it, #EnemyXEnemy, so you can see it, because we'd love to see that stuff. But yeah, we're gonna see you next week
And
to
thanks
see
to
what
Sin.
happens. Oh yes, thank you, Sin,
Sin.
our incredible tech producer. If you put, I'm pretty sure there's an exclamation point that shows everyone that's behind the scenes as well. But Sin is the one that's doing our tech production, has been doing incredible transitions, and just a godsend in general. So thank you so much, Sin. I can see you in chat telling us to shush, but I won't. And thank you, Stella, for reminding me because I'm a scatterbrain. But yeah, we'll see you next week for another chapter of Enemy of My Enemy.
Oh,
Bye.
bye.
Bye.